Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're tackling the macro balancers, AD and AS. Let's just dive right in, shall we? We're stripping away all the noise to focus on the fundamental levers that balance the entire macroeconomic system. It's literally just how money, production, and desire interact on a massive scale.
Now, there's basically one equation that explains the global economy. Seriously. If you want to understand how the modern world actually runs, we can totally bypass the lengthy preambles. Let's just look directly at this single, incredibly powerful piece of math.
First up is aggregate demand, or AD. By definition, this is the total amount of goods which all buyers of final output in an economy desire to purchase. So think of it as the ultimate massive measure of purchasing desire from absolutely everyone operating in the system. In an open economy, that massive demand looks exactly like this. AD equals C plus I plus G plus X minus M. It's like a giant global shopping cart. C is consumer household demand. That's you and me buying groceries or clothes. I is firm investment, like when companies buy new machinery to expand. G is government purchases. And because we're interacting freely with the rest of the world, we add X for exports and subtract M for imports. Pretty straightforward, right? But what happens if we completely change the rules and a nation just shuts its doors? In a closed economy, there's absolutely no global interaction or capital flow. Notice what happens to the math here. The X and M literally vanish from the equation. So we're left with just AD equals C plus I plus G. Only the domestic activity remains.
Now, demand is only half the story. Flip the script and we get the essential counterweight to all of this. Aggregate supply, or AS. This is defined as a total amount of desired output which all firms or producers are actually willing to produce in an economy. It's basically the physical reality rushing in to meet all that massive demand. Which brings us to a very real, very personal question to wrap up this explainer. If aggregate demand suddenly outpaces aggregate supply, what actually happens to your wallet? Well, when the mathematical desire to buy outstrips the physical willingness to produce, we hit scarcity. And that is exactly when you start feeling the very real pinch of inflation. So definitely think about that the next time you're checking your grocery receipt.